guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to discuss the book The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's arguably one of the best literature of all time, and the last chapter left a huge impact on me. The last chapter was about a little boy who suffered all his life. His life seemed meaningless, and he had a short death. He died at around age 4 to 5. And the father is in deep despair. He doesn't understand why his boy suffered, why an innocent boy had to suffer and have a meaningless life and achieve nothing, right? And the boys that bullied the boy, they felt bad for bullying him, and they came to the realization, the father and the boys, that his life isn't meaningless because it both changed their lives, right? It changed the father's life, it changed the boys, the bully's life. The bullies, they wanted to become better people. They're more morally, they're reaching for moral growth now. They promised themselves that they were going to be better people, and that ultimately made them a better person. So that essentially that boy had meaning in his life. Even though the boy never achieved anything, never achieved any kind of status, it left the deepest impact. And it left a huge impact on me in the book. And the book describes how our childhood, a good memory, one good memory can save our lives from the burden of life. And that is very true. The way Dostoevsky articulates his words is incredible. This man, he went deep under the skin of meaning, suffering, and about life. And a good memory and a shared love with the community can ultimately save your life and release you from your burdens. I could definitely relate to that personally. My hardest moments, I always thought about a good memory from my childhood. That gave me a sense of relief in the moment, knowing I shared that experience. And when I think about that boy, I think about my brother, because my brother, he was born as C-piece, cerebral palsy, special needs, nonverbal, in a wheelchair, and I felt like it was an innocent person that suffered. It was an innocent person that didn't deserve to be in that position, and I didn't think my parents deserved to be in that position either. And you try to give meaning to that, and you try to understand why that's happening. And I always realized intuitively before I read the chapter that I was going to be a better person for this. I was going to change myself. I was going to give my suffering meaning in my life. And the way Dostoevsky articulates in the last chapter is mind-boggling. It is like, wow, this man, he's been through some hell, right? And I would definitely recommend reading Brothers Karamazov. So ultimately, you can't change suffering, you can't change your life experiences, but what you can do is transform your life through your sufferings and give it a perspective. That person that passed away, the innocent boy that didn't deserve to die and suffered a lot in his life, you keep on his legacy by morally taking a moral responsibility and realizing that his memories and your moral responsibility gave his life purpose. It gave your life more meaning, so his life was meaningful. So he played a part in your life and many others. So everyone has meaning in life and purpose. Even when the situation does not make sense, everything has purpose, everything has a reason. And that's all I had to say. But I thought a really deeply impactful book. And by the way, if you're reading Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky, please read The Grand Inquisitor. That's probably the best chapter of literature all time. A perfect example I think of is actually yesterday I was in the hospital. I was getting checking up for an appointment here in Columbia, and there was a boy who was about 3 to 4 years old. He seemed to have cerebral palsy too, and he is, he couldn't really move his body. And he had an oxygen tank attached to his nose, and this boy was in sharp pain. He was crying. It was horrible. I felt like I was in hell because I felt a lot of deep, complex emotions in me. It triggered, with my brother. So I felt empathy towards the mom and the boy, and I can't imagine the circumstances there. And that situation just reminded me my gift in life. Do not take my life for granted. To realize even suffering is a pleasure. It's a privilege to suffer. It's a privilege to fall in love. We can't expect these things in our lives. Just be grateful, gratitude that we're able to experience this weird human experience and have these emotions in our lives. So this just reminded me of that, and it makes me, once I saw that, it made me want to live more fulfilling. It was a good reminder how lucky I am, the opportunity I have in my life, and the opportunity that you have in your life to make changes.